The mysterious legend of the melonheads. In the state of Ohio, particularly in Lake and Geauga counties, residents and eyewitnesses have reported strange encounters with bizarre creatures known as the melonheads. These short, bipedal beings are said to have disproportionately large, bulbous heads, a feature that has fueled local legends about their mysterious origins. Due to the limited number of sightings, not much is known about the creatures, but their association with a dark and disturbing tale has made them one of Ohio's most chilling legends. The most well-known story surrounding the melonheads ties back to an alleged doctor named Dr. Crow, whose twisted experiments may have played a role in the creature's origins. According to local law, during the 1930s and 1940s, Dr. Crow operated either a mental asylum or an orphanage in Kirtland, Ohio. While variations of the story exist, one consistent element is that he experimented on young individuals afflicted with hydrocephalus, a condition that causes an abnormal buildup of fluid in the brain, leading to an enlarged skull. Some versions of the legend claim that Dr. Crow's experiments were an attempt to cure hydrocephalus, though his methods were cruel and inhumane. Others suggest he intentionally inflicted the condition on people to study its effects. The experiments reportedly included drilling holes into skulls, performing crude lobotomies, and exposing patients to electroshock therapy. The legend further claims that Dr. Crow's victims eventually turned against him. In a dramatic act of revenge, the surviving individuals organized an attack, ending the doctor's life before escaping into the nearby woods. With nowhere else to go, they learned to live off the land, relying on the kindness of local residents who left food for them. Over time, these individuals became the legendary melonheads, their physical deformities giving rise to the eerie sightings reported throughout the region. Another variation of the legend suggests that Dr. Crow was not associated with an orphanage, but was instead a private researcher who lived near Wisner Road in Kirtland. This version claims that he had struck a secret deal with a local mental institution to obtain people for medical experiments. Over time, he expanded his twisted research by taking people from the surrounding area. His experiments reportedly involved injecting chemicals and radioactive substances into the brains of his victims, causing severe mutations and neurological damage. As the story goes, after months of horrific treatment, his patients turned on him, setting fire to his home and escaping into the woods, where they became the elusive melonheads. Although no official records confirm Dr. Crow's existence or the alleged experiments, some historical evidence hints at a grain of truth behind the tale. A newspaper article from the West Geauga Sun once mentioned a Dr. Crow living in Kirtland during World War II, conducting research on human subjects. Additionally, similar legends of unethical experiments on hydrocephalus patients exist in other states such as Connecticut, Michigan, and West Virginia, leading some to believe that the melonhead legend may be tied to a larger, more sinister scheme involving government-sanctioned medical experiments in the mid-20th century. Whether the melonheads are the lingering spirits of these tragic victims, mutated survivors, or simply an eerie folktale passed down through generations, their presence in Ohio's folklore remains strong. The legend continues to spark curiosity and fear, keeping the mystery of the melonheads alive. A mysterious sighting over Highway 175. While driving on Highway 175 near Kaufman, Texas, an eyewitness experienced an extraordinary event that left him both stunned and puzzled. In the sky above, he noticed a shiny object that initially appeared to be an airplane. However, as he observed it more closely, he realized something unusual. The object made no sound and remained completely still. This defied the normal behavior of any aircraft, raising questions about what he was truly witnessing. Acting quickly, the eyewitness grabbed his camera and snapped 2 consecutive images of the mysterious object. Just as suddenly as it had appeared, the object vanished without a trace. It left no trail, no sound, and no explanation. Only after reviewing the photographs did he realize how bizarre the sighting truly was. What he captured was not just a distant, unidentified flying object, but something even more shocking, an image that appeared to show a transparent vehicle in the sky. The structure seemed otherworldly, unlike anything he had seen before. The photographs, taken on July 19, 2016, were later submitted to the Mutual UFO Network under case number 84792. The Mutual UFO Network, an organization dedicated to investigating and documenting UFO sightings, reviewed the images as part of their ongoing research into unexplained aerial phenomena. While skeptics may offer alternative explanations such as reflections, camera anomalies, or natural occurrences, the images continue to intrigue those who believe in the possibility of extraterrestrial or advanced, undisclosed technology. This sighting over Highway 175 remains an unsolved mystery, adding to the growing list of UFO encounters reported worldwide. Whether it was an optical illusion, a secret military craft, or something from beyond our understanding, the event serves as yet another reminder that the skies still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. A reporter's haunting surprise at Myrtle's plantation. Vanessa Bolano, a reporter for ABC affiliate WGNO, was filming a segment at the historic Myrtle's plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, when she unexpectedly became part of the story. Known as one of the most haunted sites in America, Myrtle's plantation is said to be home to at least 12 restless spirits. Bolano was on assignment, reporting on the eerie legends surrounding the plantation, but what she discovered later would send chills down her spine. While reviewing the footage in the editing room, Bolano noticed something unusual. As she spoke about the ghosts that allegedly reside at the plantation, an inexplicable figure appeared behind her. Neither she nor her cameraman had noticed anything unusual during the shoot, yet the footage seemed to suggest otherwise. The ghostly presence made its debut on camera just as she stood in the French bedroom, a room believed to be the most haunted in the house. The Myrtle's plantation has long been a hotspot for paranormal activity, with many visitors reporting ghost sightings, mysterious noises, and unexplained phenomena. The house's dark history, which includes tales of murder and tragedy, has only added to its reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the country. Bolano's experience further fuels the legend, offering what some might consider video evidence of the supernatural. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, Bolano's encounter is a chilling reminder of the mysteries that still surround places like Myrtle's plantation. Her report was meant to document the legends, but she may have captured proof of them instead. The incident serves as yet another eerie chapter in the long, ghostly history of one of Louisiana's most infamous haunted houses. Mysterious opening seen in Antarctica. A mysterious cave opening discovered on Google Earth has captured the attention of researchers and online investigators. The massive entrance, measuring over 150 feet wide according to measurement tools, has sparked speculation about its true purpose and origins. While some believe it to be a naturally formed geological feature, others are convinced that it serves as an entrance to an underground base hidden beneath the surface. The location of this anomaly, situated in the remote and icy expanse of Antarctica, has only fueled further intrigue, with theories ranging from military operations to extraterrestrial activity. Many who have analyzed the images argue that the size and symmetry of the opening suggest it is not a natural formation. Some have pointed out that the area surrounding the entrance appears to have been artificially modified, with patterns that resemble tracks or pathways leading to and from the structure. These observations have led to the widely held belief that the cave could be a top-secret hangar used by the military. Given Antarctica's history of serving as a base for research stations and covert military projects, it is not far-fetched to assume that the opening may be linked to classified operations hidden from public knowledge. Others who have examined the satellite images propose that the cave entrance might be connected to UFOs. Throughout history, Antarctica has been the center of many UFO-related theories, with claims of unidentified objects seen entering and exiting icy crevasses. Some researchers believe that the frozen continent could be home to hidden extraterrestrial bases, concealed beneath miles of ice and snow. The cave's location, in such an isolated and difficult-to-access region, has led some to question whether it was deliberately chosen to keep whatever lies inside hidden from the rest of the world. Despite these compelling theories, skeptics argue that the cave is nothing more than a naturally occurring ice formation. They suggest that seasonal changes and shifting glaciers could create openings that resemble structured entrances. However, this explanation has done little to convince those who remain suspicious of the site's potential secrecy. For now, the mysterious cave opening remains unexplored and unexplained. Whether it is a top-secret military facility, an alien hideout, or simply an unusual geological feature, It continues to captivate those searching for hidden truths in the most remote corners of the world. Italian scientist Ettore Majorana, born in 1906, remains a mysterious figure in the scientific community due to his mysterious disappearance in 1938 at the age of 32. He was last seen on a ship traveling from Palermo to Naples, with his subsequent whereabouts cloaked in uncertainty. Decades later, a photograph emerged from Argentina depicting Majorana, seemingly untouched by time and still appearing as he did in 1938. This puzzling episode has fueled numerous theories and speculations regarding Majorana's fate, adding to the intrigue that surrounds his life and work. In the midst of circulating rumors regarding his demise, no concrete evidence surfaced until the year 2011. In March of that year, the Rome Attorney's Office initiated an investigation following a peculiar statement from a witness regarding an encounter with Majorana in Buenos Aires in the post-World War II era. During this alleged meeting, Majorana purportedly divulged significant scientific breakthroughs. The witness further asserted that upon attempting to meet Majorana for a second time, the physicist had mysteriously vanished, preventing any elaboration on the nature of these scientific revelations. This event sparked an official inquiry into the mysterious disappearance and the unverified claims surrounding Majorana's supposed scientific disclosures. The situation remains shrouded in mystery, with little certainty or concrete information to conclusively resolve the uncertainties surrounding Majorana's fate and the alleged scientific insights he purportedly shared. The news broke on June 7, 2011, as Italian media outlets revealed that the Carabinieri's RIS had meticulously scrutinized a photograph of a man captured in Argentina back in 1955. They uncovered a staggering 10 striking resemblances between the features of this man and Ettore Majorana. Remarkably, Majorana had disappeared nearly 20 years prior to the date of the photograph. What puzzled many was the apparent lack of aging in Majorana's appearance. He seemed to retain an almost identical youthful countenance in images taken both in 1938 and 1955. Notably, the Carabinieri refrained from offering any commentary on this curious phenomenon of Majorana's seemingly ageless visage, leaving many questions unanswered. This intriguing revelation not only sparked widespread speculation, but also added another layer of mystery to the strange disappearance of Ettore Majorana, the brilliant Italian physicist. Ettore Majorana, a distinguished scientist known for his expertise in multiple disciplines such as engineering, mathematics, and theoretical physics, particularly focusing on neutrino masses. He is credited with the formulation of the Majorana equation and the discovery of Majorana fermions, both of which bear his name. Majorana's contributions to the field of physics. In 1937, Majorana theorized the existence of a unique particle that possesses the properties of both matter and antimatter, which he believed could stably exist in nature. Typically, in our daily encounters, we encounter matter, an abundant substance in our known universe, and its counterpart, antimatter, which is considerably rare. When matter and antimatter come into contact, they undergo a process of annihilation, resulting in their mutual destruction and conversion into pure energy. In a peculiar turn of events, was there an instance where he engaged in an unconventional experiment that seemingly caused him to vanish in a burst of energy, only to surprisingly materialize again, instantaneously, 2 decades later? Rumors have circulated persistently regarding his vanishing, ever since the precise moment he did not disembark from the vessel he was observed boarding in March of 1938. This mysterious disappearance has generated speculation and conjecture over the years, capturing the curiosity of both the public and investigators alike. In the intricate puzzle surrounding the mysterious disappearance of Majorana, a crucial detail emerges: the step he supposedly took onto a boat before vanishing into the unknown. Nevertheless, even this seemingly concrete fact is enveloped in controversy and uncertainty. Some conjecture that Majorana cunningly orchestrated the placement of a decoy onto the boat as a diversion tactic. Conversely, another school of thought posits that the boat excursion itself may have been a contrivance concocted by those he left behind. Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, a Nobel Prize laureate, gained notoriety for his remarks on the mysterious disappearance of Ettore Majorana by saying the following: "Ettore was too intelligent. If he has decided to disappear, No one will be able to find him, not in this time or another. This cryptic statement has led to speculations about Majorana possibly being a time traveller.
Iwona Wieczorek. It was the 17th of July 2010 in Spot, Poland. In the early morning light, 19-year-old Iwona Wieczorek makes a final call to her friend Adria. Earlier that night, the girls were out celebrating their completion of high school, attending a party not far from their home. Adria convinced Iwona to leave and continue their partying at a nearby nightclub, Dream Club. Not long after midnight, they arrived at the club, along with 3 of Adria's male friends, Paul, Adrian and Mark. After an argument with the men, Iwona stormed out, determined to walk the almost 4 miles home. Texts from her phone indicate she was angry her friend did not follow her out of the club after the argument. There were several calls made to Adria. The last one occurred at around 4 a.m, in which Adria had apologised for the incident at the club. Iwona confessed she wasn't in a state to be seen at home, still drunk from all the partying. Adria informed Iwona she would leave her keys outside of her apartment if she wanted to come to stay with her. CCTV easily tracked Iwona's path, having been seen on several different cameras. Barefoot and alone, she headed towards the neighbourhood that she and Adria lived in. Needless to say, Iwona never arrived. Later that day, after awakening and finding her keys where she had left them, Adria contacted Iwona's family to check that she had made it home. Although she was reported missing, authorities claimed Iwona was capable enough to make it home and could have stayed at another friend's house. It was a week before the disappearance of Iwona was taken seriously. During the last few seconds of the video captured of Iwona, a man was seen walking behind her. He was possibly the last known person to see her alive. Even though his picture and sketches were widely circulated, no one ever stepped forward claiming to be the man. And he was never identified. In 2014, Adria and one of the men from the club were interviewed regarding the disappearance. Although both of them corroborated the time Iwona left the club, neither of them could maintain eye contact with the camera. And though they seemed to remember the time of her leaving, not one of them could remember what the argument was about. This strange behaviour has led some to believe that perhaps Adria and the men know more about her disappearance than they were telling. In Poland, Iwona's disappearance has not faded away. Some 12,000 pages on a forum remain active searching for Iwona, sharing pictures of her and asking for someone to step forward. Some fear she has been sold into human trafficking. Even with hundreds of people from the area interviewed, no sign of Iwona has ever turned up. The disappearance of Erin Marie Gilbert. Unfortunately, not all who get lost are found. This was the case with Erin Marie Gilbert, a 24-year-old girl who disappeared after leaving a first date on July 1st, 1995. Erin, who would now be about 49 years old, was 5'5", 145 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. It was her sister Stephanie who first reported that Erin had gone missing after a night out on what was supposed to be a date at the Girdwood Forest Fair. Erin had moved from San Francisco, where she lived with her father, to Alaska, where she stayed with her sister Stephanie and her husband and 2 children. By the time that she went missing, she had been living with them for about a year. The night of Erin Marie Gilbert's disappearance, she was picked up by a young man by the name of David Combs, a man whom she'd met at a bar just a few nights before. When he came to pick her up, he was wearing sunglasses, a detail that Stephanie later recalled when speaking to officers and reporters. Before the 2 of them left, Stephanie's older son, who was 4 years old, suggested that his aunt Erin take a cell phone with her. However, Erin decided not to and left with David Combs. Erin and her date drove an hour to the Girdwood Forest Fair. Witnesses recalled seeing them at a beer garden until around 6 p.m. when they left together. David Combs, who was later interrogated about Erin's disappearance, told the rest of the story, that when the 2 walked to his car, it turned out that it was not starting. He left Erin with the car, telling her he would walk to a friend's house to find help. After 2 hours of walking, however, he did not find the house and returned to his car alone with Erin gone. David Combs told authorities that he thought she had just gone back to the fair. When he tried the car this time, it worked, and he then decided to go back and search for Erin until around 1 a.m. However, he did not call Stephanie about it until 7 a.m., which was odd. Although Stephanie said that she would not have heard if Erin had come home at all due to the nature of the house, she checked her bedroom and found there was no evidence of her having returned. Police and investigators continued to search for her, as did the family. They went back to the fair to search for her, but nothing was found. Now, over 2 decades later, there is still no new information regarding Erin Marie Gilbert's disappearance. Although the family is no longer convinced that she may still be alive, they are still searching for answers. Robert Horahan's disappearance. He has been missing for a decade, leaving his heartbroken wife and family with no answers and nothing to do but wonder at what might have happened to their beloved husband and father. Horan went missing on April 8, 2011, after leaving for work in the family's Chevrolet Cavalier. However, when he never returned from work that evening, his wife Tara immediately knew that something must have gone horribly wrong. Robert was fiercely devoted to their daughter and would never have left her, not to mention the fact that he took life-saving heart medications and would have had to have taken them with him if he had intentionally left his family. Once the missing persons report was filed and police launched an investigation, officials discovered that Robert had last used his phone at 7:41 that morning in Palmyra, Virginia, and had also been seen at the grocery store in Palmyra at around 8 a.m. While not necessarily strange that he visited a grocery store before heading to work, what struck Tara as odd was the fact that Palmyra was the opposite direction from his work. Additionally, investigators discovered that Robert did not even have work the day that he left, and was supposed to meet with a friend instead, but he never showed up to the meeting. The case then went cold until his car was discovered in a parking lot in La Plata, Maryland, over 100 miles from Palmyra. The car contained some of his work tools and a work shirt, but his phone, as well as anything that could indicate where he might have gone, was missing. Video footage of the parking lot revealed nothing helpful, and it took so long for the car to be discovered that the footage of the car being parked had already been taped over, so officials do not even know exactly how long the car had been sitting in the lot. Since that day, no more leads have been discovered in the case. Police suspect foul play and hope that, since so much time has passed, there might be someone who knows something about the case who would come forward. Tara has had to spend the intervening years as a single mother raising a daughter who hardly even remembers her father, and the family has not even been able to receive closure in the case. The case is still open and ongoing, as officials hope to one day be able to offer a little bit of peace of mind to the family in the form of some answers as to what happened to Robert after he disappeared all those years ago. The 13-year-old's car discovery. Griffin Lake in British Columbia, Canada, is a deep blue expanse sitting below stunning mountains amid beautiful Canadian countryside. Snowy peaks stand majestically at the end of the lake, with the scenic retreat making a perfect countryside getaway location. But in 2019, Griffin Lake became the subject of a mysterious discovery, one that had evaded Canadian police for nearly 30 years. Max Warenka was a normal 13-year-old boy from Alberta, Canada. He enjoyed the outdoors and had spent time in the past filming his adventures with his GoPro camera. In August 2019, Warenka had been out paddleboarding on Griffin Lake when he spotted something strange lurking below the surface. A group of people who had been staying in cabins on the lake shore also came to have a look, and they deduced that they were seeing the shiny underside of a car. Bemused as to what a car could be doing at the bottom of the lake, Warenka and his family reported the discovery to the police. After doing some Googling, the group realized that a group of 4 people had been rescued from a sunken vehicle in Griffin Lake in 2007, assuming that the car was simply left over from that. A pretty cool discovery nonetheless, but the Royal Canadian Mounted Police came to the lake to check it out anyway. When the police arrived, the presumed car did not appear so clearly, so the police asked Max to dive into the lake with his GoPro to see what he could find. Lo and behold, the car was still there, in full, and there was a human body in the driver's seat. It quickly became apparent that the car wasn't the one in the 2007 rescue, but one that had been at the bottom of the lake for potentially some time. The police divers team arrived a few days later and confirmed the body in the car. Analysis revealed that the body was that of Janet Farris, who had disappeared on her way to a wedding in the Griffin Lake area. Police were quick to rule out foul play and rather concluded that it was likely Janet swerved, trying to avoid an animal or something else, and lost control, spinning into the lake. Though the truth will never be fully known, for Janet's family, however, a welcome comfort to finally knowing where their relative was all this time. The disappearance of Keith Reinhard. The tiny village of Silver Plume in Colorado has a population of just over 200. It was the location solitude that enticed Keith Reinhard in 1988 to take a 3-month sabbatical from his job as a sports writer, leave his wife and family, and get some much-needed respite and work on his novel. Reinhard also saw the tiny village, which boasted mountainous areas, as an opportunity to overcome his lifelong fear of heights and get in better shape. When he arrived in Silver Plume, he leased a small shop to sell antiques and photographs to maintain him financially. It was then that Reinhard learned about the previous owner of the shop, a man called Tom Young, who on July 31st of the previous year went for a walk with his dog and never returned. A month into Reinhard's stay at Silver Plume, the bodies of Young and his dog were found propped against a tree in the wilderness. Both had been shot dead. Since Young had purchased a gun several days before he disappeared, the police ruled that Young had shot his dog and then committed suicide. However, local villagers who had known Young disputed the conclusion that Young would ever hurt his beloved dog. Rumours started to float around that something more sinister had occurred to Young. Reinhard was taken by the case and the similarities between himself and Young. Not only had they both at one point owned the same store, but if Young had killed himself, then both were going through troubled times. He decided to base the main character in his novel on an amalgamation of Young and himself called Guy Gibson. Reinhard's daughter, Tiffany, said that her father struggled to separate fact from fiction, and this possibly explains what happened next. 1 week after Young's body was found, Reinhard set off to climb to the top of the nearby Pendleton Mountain. Climbing the mountain was a 6-hour hike, and Reinhard had set off in the late afternoon, meaning he would be walking through the tough rocky terrain at night, which was known to be inhabited by wild animals. This was particularly alarming given Reinhard's lack of experience climbing mountains and his prior fear of heights. Reinhard did not return that night, and the next day over 100 men equipped with trained dogs and helicopters began to search the site for him. The search became one of the biggest in Colorado history, and was only called off when a plane involved in the search crashed, killing one and injuring another. Reinhard was never found. Following his disappearance, people began to question what had happened to Reinhard. There were 2 main theories. The first theory was that Reinhard had been attempting to mimic what had happened to Young. In the last page of his novel manuscript, he had written about how the main character was setting off to walk towards the lush, shadowless Colorado forest above. Reinhard might have been trying to live the events of the character before writing it down. Some even believe that Reinhard is still alive, but after learning about the crashed plane that had been searching for him, decided to flee. In fact, there have been multiple reports of sightings of Reinhard in countries like Mexico since his disappearance. The second theory is that Reinhard was a victim of foul play. Reinhard's own son Kai supports this theory. He believes that Young was harmed by somebody and Reinhard suffered the same fate. He suspects that the shop that both men had owned might have put them at risk. Others argue that if Young had been killed, the person who killed him would view Reinhard and his interest in Young as a threat, so would want to cause him harm. Teresa Gibson disappears from the Great Smoky Mountains. On October 8, 1976, Teresa Lynn Gibson, also known as Trenny, went on a field trip to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. She traveled with 35 to 40 of her classmates from Bearden High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. Despite being surrounded with a group and other hikers, 16-year-old Trenny mysteriously disappeared from the park. The field trip was odd to begin with. There were almost 40 students, yet only one teacher to supervise them, plus the bus driver. According to some students, they were not even informed of their field trip destination until they arrived at the park. Only then did they find out that they would be hiking about 1.8 miles from Clingman's Dome to Andrews Bald, and then returning to the Forney Ridge Trail. When students began their hike, they split up into smaller groups based on their walking speed. Throughout the day, Trenny walked at different paces with various groups of classmates. However, at some point in the afternoon, she mysteriously vanished. She was last seen by classmates near Clingman's Dome at 3 p.m. They were hiking along a fairly steep trail with thick vegetation and sudden drop-offs. Apparently, she glimpsed something on the right side of the trail and left the path. That was the last time anyone saw her. Rescue teams began searching for her in the late afternoon. The weather and fall foliage made it difficult for search and rescue to use helicopters and inspect the trail. Instead, they used tracking dogs to pick up her scent. There were around 6 teams of bloodhounds and German shepherds that searched and picked up her scent near the juncture of the Clingman's Dome Trail and the Appalachian Trail. They followed her scent past Clingman's Dome Tower up until 1.5 miles from Newfound Gap. The scent then disappeared along the roadside. Multiple theories have arisen and suspects investigated. Some believe Trenny was in Clingman's Dome observation tower while the initial search was being conducted because it was never inspected. Once the searchers left, she travelled to the roadside where she got into a car, either voluntarily or against her will. There are some reports of cigarettes and beer cans found along the roadside. Trenny's classmate, Robert Simpson, was implicated as a suspect since her hairbrush was discovered in his car, but police quickly dismissed the idea. Trenny's parents, Robert and Hope Gibson, informed the police of a previous break-in by a young man whom Mrs. Gibson shot at. After being shot, he threatened to hurt their daughter. Although the authorities investigated this man, there were no leads for them to follow. Searches were conducted extensively through October and then again from April 18th to May 5th, 1977, but to no avail. Searches resumed in 1981 as well, but they never found anything. Kim Pouncey, a friend of Trenny's, gave an interview in November 2017 for an episode of Appalachian Unsolved where she expressed her doubt of an abduction. She believes Trenny left of her own accord and had someone waiting for her in the park, that she had planned it because she wanted to leave and get away. After so many searches, the rangers of the national park were convinced that she was not in the park. Her body was never found. There are no current suspects, leads, or evidence. It's strange that a young girl could vanish while on a popular trail in the middle of the day surrounded by people. Whether she orchestrated her own disappearance or was kidnapped will remain a mystery. The disappearance of Jared Negrete. Jared Negrete was a 13-year-old Boy Scout who has not been seen since July 19, 1991, when he was separated from his troop of climbers in the San Bernardino National Forest. Tragically, the expedition was Negrete's first overnight backpacking trip with the Boy Scouts. As an inexperienced climber and described as being slightly overweight, climbing to the summit of the 11,500-foot mountain was a tough task. Negrete grew tired at about 1,000 feet from the top and was told to remain behind while the others completed the hike. However, when the troop returned, Negrete was nowhere to be seen. The troop leader immediately led the 5 other scouts back to the base camp and then hiked about 5 miles in the dark to get help. A massive search was launched, consisting of San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies and rescue teams from as far away as Sierra Madre and San Dimas. They searched the 130 square mile area of San Gorgonio Wilderness and on the 3rd day focused their search on a 6 square mile area where one of Negrete's footprints was discovered. In this area, searchers also uncovered beef jerky and candy wrappers they believed to have belonged to Negrete. The most interesting discovery, though, was Negrete's camera. On the camera, there were 12 snapshots. All but one were landscape shots. However, the final image was a close-up self-portrait of Jared, showing only his nose and eyes. The photograph had been taken using flash photography, and Negrete appeared terrified in the image. Some have even claimed to see a pair of eyes behind Negrete, as if he was using the camera to scare off a threat. It is believed that Negrete lost his life by succumbing to the elements or by suffering a fall down the mountain. But over 30 years later, there are no traces of remains of the boy, and Negrete's final moments remain unanswered. Stuart Isaac disappearance. Stuart Isaac disappeared in Yellowstone National Park on September 24, 2010. Stuart Isaac was a 48-year-old family man, native of the Republic of Palau in the Pacific. On September 6, 2010, he set out to enjoy a cross-country trip to Yellowstone National Park. He drove approximately 32 hours from his Burtonsville, Maryland home and began his solo camping trip. The last contact he made with his family was a simple note that he left, informing them of his planned trip. Isaac spent several weeks away from home, and it was not until September 24th that he was determined to be missing. We know that, on September 26th, Isaac's black 2009 Lexus was parked at Craig Pass without a single hiking trail nearby. His car was found by the National Park Service during a routine patrol of the area. The car, which sported a vanity license plate reading Belloc, was unlocked with the keys inside it. Whether Isaac had been the one to park the car here, or if he was even in the vehicle at this time, is entirely unknown. Craig Pass, where the vehicle was located, is a rather odd place for any car to be parked. Standing at an awe-inspiring elevation of 8,262 feet, it serves as a mountain pass on the Continental Divide. Located roughly 8 miles east of the Old Faithful Geyser, it is rather far from any moderately trafficked route on the Yellowstone National Park's Grand Loop Road. This unusual finding is what prompted local authorities to determine that Isaac was indeed missing. Upon finding Isaac's vehicle, a large-scale search ensued immediately. Authorities determined that Isaac could have been lost for a total of 20 days when the car was finally located, considering that no spotting of him had been reported since September 6th. The National Park Service enlisted the surrounding sheriff's departments and the California Air National Guard to assist in the search. Together, along with rescue dogs, volunteers, and helicopters, they combed through the nearby areas to find any evidence of Isaac. Not a sign was found. The last reported contact by Isaac was to a former high school classmate, Matsu Evans. Records show that Evans spoke with Stuart for 2 hours on September 24th, almost immediately before his disappearance. This only added mystery and confusion to the investigation. The call was made at 6:30 p.m., according to her time zone in Guam, but this would have been roughly 3:30 a.m. in Isaac's time zone. Evans remarked that during their phone call, she felt something was off. When being interviewed by investigators, she said of the call, "I was kind of surprised to hear from him because he seldom made calls. We text each other and we email. Now I know that he's missing. Why would he call me 2 days before something happened?" However, during the call, he did not allude to being in any serious distress and simply informed her that he was on his way to Yellowstone for a relaxing cross-country trip. What made the encounter even more curious to Evans was that she never knew Isaac to be an outdoorsman of any sort. He did not seem to be experienced in hiking or even to be an occasional purveyor of nature trails. Due to the unique circumstances of Isaac's disappearance, many have speculated that he had planned to disappear on the trip. The mysterious final phone call to a loved one and a note left for his family aligns with the typical procedures for someone contemplating to end their life. Let's hope he is found one day. Sandra Johnson Hughes' disappearance. Sandra Johnson Hughes disappeared into the Sierra National Forest, located on the western slope of central Sierra Nevada in central California. She was last seen entering the Johnson Meadows on July 4, 2020. An extensive search ensued following her disappearance, but only more mystery was uncovered. Hughes was 54 years old when she moved from Hawaii to California a month before her disappearance. She began planning her camping trip as a way to enjoy nature and escape the confines of her home during everything that's currently happening. Before her trip, she was extensively trained in managing the wilderness as she trained to be a park ranger in college, making her disappearance all the more curious. Her family reported that they had last heard from her on June 26th. The search began on July 5th after Hughes's belongings were found in peculiar disarray. Her niece posted a call for help on Facebook encouraging others to help search for her aunt, stating that her campsite was found with her belongings and was quite disheveled. Things were thrown about all over, almost as if her car and belongings had been emptied out carelessly. Furthermore, her niece claimed that she would never leave her campsite a mess. Even a piece of litter on the ground would bother her. The Madera County Sheriff's Office then followed suit and openly asked the public to aid in the search for Sandra Hughes. Hughes was described as someone who liked to move around a lot. She had no children and was twice divorced, giving her the ability to uproot at a whim and live largely without restraint. There was a peculiar encounter on July 4th. It was reported that a group of hikers came in contact with Hughes. They claimed that she was walking barefoot, with a sizable bruise on her face. The hikers were rightfully concerned and offered her help, to which she declined. They insisted on providing some kind of medical assistance, but she again rejected their offer and continued on her path. Her family described her as someone who was very organized, making this behavior highly unusual and disturbing. On the 5th of July, there were more mysterious circumstances. Hughes's car was found lying in a creek that leads into Chiquito Lake. Authorities on the scene theorized that the vehicle was traveling at less than 20 miles per hour when it crashed into a tree and rolled into the ravine. This is extremely unusual for a crash. At such a low speed, it is hard to imagine why Hughes would have crashed headfirst into a tree. Typically, at this speed, the driver has great control over the vehicle. This finding led the search to intensify its efforts. Nearly a dozen separate sheriff's departments joined the effort, assisted by rescue dogs, volunteers, and helicopters from the California Air National Guard to locate Hughes. Together, they combed the forest, working day and night to find any sign of Sandra Hughes. None was found. The last sighting to reportedly see Sandra were two hunters passing through the woods near the Portuguese overlook. The men claimed they saw her leaning against a tree along Road 5S01 near Besaw Road. At the time, they did not recognize her, and it was only upon returning from their trip that they recognized her from a missing person flyer. The hunters remarked that she did not appear distressed or in need of assistance. However, upon seeing her picture from the missing person's flyer, they said that she was visibly thinner. We can only hope she returns home safely. The unsolved disappearance of Bessie and Glenn Hyde. On November 18, 1928, Bessie and Glenn Hyde set out for their extended honeymoon, where they planned to float down the rapids of the Colorado and Green Rivers for a few weeks. They said goodbye to Ellsworth and Emery Kolb, two brothers that were also spending time in the area. The couple departed on their boat to begin their exciting adventure, but they were never seen again. It has been nearly 100 years since the Hydes embarked on their honeymoon and mysteriously vanished. Colorado River guides still tell ghost stories about the couple's disappearance when sitting around campfires, because no one knows what happened to them. Although they were on an adventure honeymoon, it didn't take long for their family to notice that something was wrong, and then soon contacted the authorities. Glenn's father launched a search on December 6th. They were not even considered overdue at their final destination in Needles, California, but his father somehow knew that something was wrong. On December 19th, their flat-bottomed boat was abandoned and discovered floating in the river by a search plane. It was discovered about 3 weeks after their initial disappearance and was located around river mile marker 226. The boat was in perfect working order, with no signs of destruction or overturning. There were also no clues signalling what could have happened to the couple. Interestingly enough, the Hyde's gear and supplies were still found aboard the boat, securely strapped in and undisturbed. Authorities even found a camera on board with their last picture taken around River Mile 165 around November 27th. Search teams and investigators had trouble with this case because there were no signs of disturbance, technical difficulties, violence, or tracks leading away from the river. It was as if the couple simply vanished into thin air. Bessie did make a note in her journal, though, that they cleared River Mile 231, leading many to believe that they had at least made it past Mile 226, Diamond Creek, where they set up camp for a night. Additionally, Glenn was an experienced boatsman, having spent years operating and handling river rafts before their trip. He was considered an expert boat builder and managed their raft entirely on his own. He spent much of his life aboard rafts on the Snake and Salmon rivers in Idaho. Although he was not a professional captain or entirely familiar with the surrounding area, he was not an amateur at risk of making simple yet fatal mistakes. The leading theory for their disappearance was that the journal was self-sabotage because the couple felt massive amounts of pressure from their friends and family. They intended to set a record for the speed and duration of their boat trip through the Grand Canyon. Plus, Bessie would become the first woman to boat the entire way through successfully. This pressure to do well and succeed could have caused them to either make mistakes or purposefully fail themselves. However, authorities found no evidence on the boat or surrounding areas to support and prove this theory. One historian believes that they were most likely swept overboard when their boat hit one of the many submerged rocks in the rapids that lie near Mile 232. The granite rocks often capsize and damage ships, causing many accidents every year. The Hyde's boat, however, shows no sign of distress or damage from stones. In 1971, an older woman was sitting with a group of rafters in the Grand Canyon and announced she was the long-lost Bessie Hyde, having escaped the canyon after taking the life of her abusive husband, Glenn. After authorities contacted her, though, she recanted the statement and denied ever having said it. Famed river rafter Georgie Clark was speculated to be Bessie after she passed away in 1992, and authorities found some documents like Bessie and Glenn's marriage certificate in her possession. There were even skeletal remains discovered in 1976 that people assumed were Glenn's. However, it was proven by the University of Arizona to be a different man. There have been strange stories and theories surrounding the couple ever since they first vanished in the late 1920s. Their story has inspired many writers and artists, spawning novels, a musical, and even an episode on Unsolved Mysteries. To this day, no one knows what happened to the Hydes, and we most likely never will. Craig Frear. In 2004, a high school student from New York went missing at just 17 years old. The young lad had been visiting a friend where he was consoled about a recent breakup. Whilst he had clearly been upset about him and his girlfriend, he reportedly did not give any indication that he may run away, nor did he say anything to suggest he would cause himself harm. This seemed a run-of-the-mill teenage breakup, at least until leaving his friend's house and walking into the woods. He never arrived back home. Adding to the distress in the boy's life, the day of his disappearance, his parents found out he lost his part-time job at the Price Chopper supermarket weeks prior. Craig had been pretending to show up and complete his shifts so that his parents would not find out he had been let off. His wallet and $40 in cash were found in his bedroom, just one of the reasons authorities do not believe Craig ran away or left of his own will. He had not applied for a job in the US, opened a bank account, or paid taxes since he was last seen, evident through the lack of activity surrounding his social security number. Craig lost his driver's license before his disappearance and did not get another before he went missing. Craig did not have a criminal record, any known behavioral issues or enemies. He was in fact a popular, bright student when in high school and had plans to study elementary education at college. However, Before he went missing, some friends and family described him as acting secretive. Furthermore, Craig had run away once before, though only for a night, as an early teenager. 16 years on, and there continues to be a Facebook group searching for him, with friends and family actively looking for him. To this day, Craig Frear's case remains open, unsolved, and with no new leads. Barbara Newhall Follett, disappearance. There are few missing persons cases more shocking than that of Barbara Newhall Follett. Follett was a famous child prodigy who had already published 2 books and written numerous poems by age 16. Her debut novel, The House Without Windows, had received acclaim from the New York Times after it was released in 1927 when she was only 12 years old. Many thought she had the ability to become one of the next great American writers. Then, in 1939, she vanished. Famous geniuses do not often disappear into thin air. However, it seems Barbara's life story was not as glamorous as was thought in the past. Weekend Edition's Paul Collins had been looking into the Follett mystery for some time and found some intriguing aspects of her life. As it turns out, after she published her first book, her life took a turn when her father announced that he was leaving her and her mother for his mistress, leaving them without the family's source of income. This turn of events occurred just as the Great Depression had started. So this New York Times reviewed author was then left to desperately look for work in Manhattan as a typist. Barbara struggled to get her subsequent manuscripts published, and she wondered if her success could continue without the help of her editor father. During this period of professional unhappiness, she turned to personal pursuits, and in 1931 she fell for an outdoorsman, Nickerson Rogers. After a few years, she began to suspect that he was cheating on her, and she became depressed, antisocial, and even stopped writing. Then, in December of 1939, after a fight with Nickerson, she walked out of their apartment and disappeared without a trace. To this day, no one knows what really happened to Barbara. Perhaps she had grown disappointed with betrayals by the men she loved and vanished on purpose, or perhaps someone took her. We may never know. Her story had not even been covered by the press until more than 20 years after her disappearance because her husband had listed her unrecognizable married name in a missing person bulletin. Despite the unknowns, this story is an American tragedy, and Barbara's disappearance prevented the rest of the world from witnessing how far her talent may have taken her.
In a remarkable find within the depths of the Baltic Sea, researchers have unveiled a colossal underwater structure believed to have originated more than 10,000 years ago. This discovery is in close proximity to the well-known Baltic Sea anomaly, sparking significant interest and curiosity among the scientific community and the public alike. The uncovered structure, shrouded in mystery and antiquity, offers a glimpse into a bygone era of human history, inviting exploration and analysis to decipher its strange origins and purpose. In Europe, this immense structure, thought to be among the most ancient hunting devices created by humans, was built by Stone Age hunter-gatherers. The construction of this megastructure signifies a significant milestone in human history. Researchers have uncovered a prehistoric wall beneath the waves along Germany's Baltic coast, suggesting it could potentially be the earliest megastructure constructed by humans in Europe. This archaeological finding holds significant implications for understanding ancient civilizations in the region. In the Bay of Mecklenburg, researchers unexpectedly discovered a massive underwater wall measuring almost a kilometer in length. The revelation occurred as scientists were utilizing a multi-beam sonar system aboard a research vessel during a student excursion around 10 kilometers, or 6 miles off the coast. This serendipitous finding has unveiled a remarkable geological formation that had eluded prior exploration. Upon detailed examination of the arrangement known as the Blinker Wall, it became evident that approximately 1,400 smaller stones were strategically placed to link close to 300 significant boulders, some of which were deemed too massive to have been shifted by human groups. This intricate structure showcases a deliberate effort to interconnect these stones and boulders, suggesting a high level of planning and coordination in its creation. The recently uncovered sunken wall, hailed as a remarkable find, lies beneath a depth of 21 meters of water. Despite its submerged state, researchers posit that this ancient structure was likely built by early hunter-gatherer communities over 10,000 years ago, possibly on the shores of a lake or near a marsh. The precise function of the wall remains elusive, yet researchers speculate that it functioned as a thoroughfare for hunters chasing after groups of reindeer. This structure, believed to be a driving lane, was likely utilized to maneuver and direct the movements of herds during hunting expeditions. In his statement at the Leibniz Institute for Baltic Sea Research in Warnemünde, a coastal town in Germany, Jacob Geerson mentioned that when animals are being pursued, they tend to adhere to certain structures and usually avoid attempting to leap over them. Geerson's observation sheds light on the behavior of animals when they are in flight mode, showcasing a tendency to follow established paths rather than engaging in risky behaviors. The concept involves the strategic implementation of an artificial bottleneck, using either a secondary barrier or the shoreline of the lake. This approach aims to control the flow or movement by restricting or diverting the path through engineered obstacles. In a report published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, researchers suggest the existence of another wall lying adjacent to the blinker wall that could potentially be submerged within the seafloor sediments. The wall could have potentially herded the animals towards the adjacent lake, hindering their speed and rendering them vulnerable targets for human predators strategically positioned in canoes equipped with spears or bows and arrows. This strategic bottleneck might have facilitated hunters in ambushing the animals as they tried to cross the water body, capitalizing on their reduced mobility due to the water obstacle. Geerson and his team have evaluated the 971-meter-long wall's dimensions and structure, leading them to doubt that natural occurrences were responsible for its formation. They dismiss the possibility of a massive tsunami relocating the stones or a glacier leaving them behind. This in-depth analysis suggests that the wall's characteristics and vast size are inconsistent with usual geological processes. The researchers question the likelihood of such extraordinary events shaping the wall, hinting at the presence of potentially unknown factors contributing to its creation. The orientation of the perimeter, typically below 1 meter in height, alters its course upon encountering the substantial rocks, indicating a deliberate arrangement of smaller stones to interconnect them. Overall, the stones comprising the structure are estimated to exceed a weight of 142 tons, underscoring the meticulous planning and effort invested in its construction. The strategic repositioning of the wall, along with the deliberate placement of smaller stones to facilitate cohesion with the larger boulders, unveils a sophisticated design that aims to merge elements seamlessly. The construction of the wall, assuming it served as an ancient hunting path, likely dates back to over 10,000 years ago, eventually being engulfed by the encroaching seawaters approximately 8,500 years back. In accordance with researchers, the blinker wall's positioning places it among the earliest instances of hunting architecture globally, potentially dubbing it as the most ancient human-crafted megastructure on the European continent. This discovery not only asserts its historical significance, but also indicates its potential relevance in the context of ancient human practices and societal structures. Geerson is currently enthusiastic about returning to the site with the intention of reconstructing the ancient landscape in a meticulous manner. He is eager to delve into the depths of the area to unearth not only animal bones, but also valuable human artifacts like hunting projectiles that could potentially be hidden within the sediments surrounding the wall. Interestingly enough, this discovery caught people's attention due to it being found in the same region as the mysterious Baltic Sea anomaly. In the depths of the Baltic Sea lies a mysterious anomaly that has puzzled scientists and captured the imagination of the public since its discovery in 2011. Dubbed the Baltic Sea anomaly, this mysterious structure has been the subject of intense speculation and debate, with theories ranging from natural formations to extraterrestrial origins. Located in the northern Baltic Sea, off the coast of Sweden, the Baltic Sea anomaly was first discovered by a team of Swedish treasure hunters using sonar imaging technology. What they found was a large, disc-shaped object resting on the seafloor at a depth of approximately 90 meters or 300 feet. The object measures roughly 60 meters or 200 feet in diameter and exhibits unusual features, including a distinct circular outline and what appears to be a raised center. Initial reports of the discovery sparked widespread interest and speculation, with some observers suggesting that the anomaly could be evidence of an ancient shipwreck, while others proposed more exotic explanations, such as a crashed UFO or submerged ancient city. As news of the discovery spread, researchers and scientists from around the world became intrigued by the anomaly and sought to unravel its mysteries. In the years since its discovery, the Baltic Sea anomaly has been the subject of several expeditions and investigations aimed at determining its nature and origin. Researchers have utilized advanced sonar imaging, underwater robots, and diving expeditions to study the anomaly up close and gather more data about its composition and structure. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Baltic Sea anomaly is its unusual appearance and composition. While some researchers have proposed that it could be a natural geological formation, others have pointed to its distinct shape and features as evidence of artificial construction. The anomaly's circular shape and apparent symmetry have led some to speculate that it could be a man-made object of unknown origin, possibly dating back thousands of years. The expeditionary team made an astonishing discovery during their mission to locate an ancient shipwreck. While passing over the unknown object, they detected a captivating reading that immediately caught their attention. According to the findings of Ocean X, this strange anomaly exhibits an intriguing thickness, measuring approximately 3 to 4 meters, with a surprisingly extensive diameter of around 60 meters. Remarkably, the object rests upon a robust pillar-like structure, soaring to an impressive height of about 8 meters. It lies submerged between depths of 85 to 90 meters, beneath an area characterized by extremely poor visibility, which poses a significant challenge for the team as they attempt to observe their surroundings. Interestingly, the team encountered a series of equipment malfunctions during their initial encounter with the anomaly. These malfunctions inexplicably ceased as soon as they moved past the mysterious object. At first, the team dismissed this as mere coincidence. However, when they retraced their steps and encountered the same equipment issues again, they began to entertain the notion that the object emits some kind of electromagnetic field. In order to test this hypothesis, the team conducted multiple experiments and, astonishingly, they consistently experienced equipment failure whenever they approached the anomaly. The team's fascinating findings have sparked a multitude of questions and speculations. Their exploration and analysis of the mysterious object, coupled with the data they have collected, have opened up new avenues of investigation in uncovering the true nature and significance of this captivating discovery. According to the account of experienced diver Stefan Hogeborn, he encountered a truly remarkable and unexplainable phenomenon during one of his dives. He noted that when he and his team came into close proximity to a certain object underwater, all their electronic devices, including a satellite phone, inexplicably ceased to function. This bizarre occurrence left them perplexed and intrigued. However, as they gradually distanced themselves from the object, approximately 200 meters away, their devices miraculously started working again, as if the interference had magically vanished. Astonishingly, once they returned above the mysterious object, their electronic devices once again malfunctioned, leaving them astounded at the inexplicable nature of this event. The photographs were sent to various universities for analysis, and their consensus was that the object in question was a result of natural formation. However, the divers who encountered the object strongly dispute this conclusion. They argue that natural formations lack the capability to deactivate electrical equipment or exhibit a distinct disc-like shape. These divers question the notion that the object could be simply attributed to the forces of nature alone. Perhaps the most tantalizing possibility is that the Baltic Sea anomaly could be of extraterrestrial origin, leading to speculation that it could be a crashed UFO or some other type of alien artifact. Proponents of this theory point to the anomaly's resemblance to other purported UFO crash sites, as well as its location in a remote and relatively unexplored area of the sea, as evidence of its potential extraterrestrial connection. Despite years of research and investigation, the true nature and origin of the Baltic Sea anomaly remain elusive. While some researchers continue to study the anomaly in the hopes of unraveling its mysteries, others remain skeptical of its significance, and question whether it is anything more than a natural geological formation. For now, the Baltic Sea anomaly remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the deep sea, continuing to captivate the imagination of scientists, researchers, and enthusiasts alike. Whether it is a remnant of an ancient civilization, a natural geological formation, or something more otherworldly, the anomaly serves as a reminder of the vast and still largely unexplored depths of our planet's oceans, where countless mysteries await discovery. In the shadowy world of special operations, Navy SEALs are renowned for their elite training, unwavering courage, and ability to thrive in the most challenging and dangerous environments imaginable. Yet, beyond their legendary feats of valor and precision, there exists a realm of mystery and intrigue where tales of the unexplained and the extraordinary lurk in the shadows. In recent years, a growing number of Navy SEALs have come forward to share their accounts of mysterious encounters and inexplicable phenomena experienced during their illustrious careers. These stories, shrouded in secrecy and often shared only among trusted comrades, offer a tantalizing glimpse into a world beyond the ordinary, where the boundaries of reality blur and the unknown beckons. From encounters with mythical sea creatures in the depths of the ocean to inexplicable sightings in the remote corners of the globe, these Navy SEALs have witnessed firsthand the mysteries that lie beyond the reach of conventional explanation. Their stories captivate the imagination, inspiring wonder and curiosity, while challenging the limits of what we know and understand about the world around us. The Solomon Islands, nestled in the South Pacific, are known for their stunning natural beauty and rich cultural heritage. However, these idyllic islands are also home to tales of mysterious creatures and ancient legends that have intrigued locals and visitors alike for generations. Among these legends is the story of the Adaro, a mythical sea creature said to inhabit the waters surrounding the Solomon Islands. One particular tale of a Navy SEAL encountering an Adaro off the coast of the Solomon Islands has captured the imagination of believers and skeptics alike. According to the account that was posted to social media, a team of elite Navy SEALs was conducting a routine reconnaissance mission in the waters near the Solomon Islands when they encountered an unexpected and terrifying sight. As the team navigated their boat through the crystal-clear waters, they noticed a disturbance on the surface not far from their location. Intrigued, they steered closer to investigate, expecting to encounter nothing more than a school of fish or perhaps a playful pod of dolphins. However, as they drew nearer, the team was shocked to see a strange figure emerge from the depths below. Standing tall and imposing, the creature appeared to be a bizarre hybrid of man and fish, with scales covering its humanoid form and webbed appendages protruding from its limbs. Its eyes glowed with light as it fixated its gaze on the startled SEALs. Instinctively, the team reached for their weapons, prepared to defend themselves against this unknown threat. But before they could react, the Adaro vanished beneath the waves, leaving the SEALs shaken but unharmed. The encounter left a lasting impression on the Navy SEALs, who struggled to reconcile their training and expertise with the inexplicable sight they had witnessed. Some dismissed the encounter as a trick of the light or a figment of their imagination, while others were convinced that they had come face to face with a creature straight out of myth and legend. For believers, the encounter with the Adaro serves as further evidence of the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of the world's oceans. They point to similar accounts from cultures around the globe, all describing encounters with creatures that defy explanation and challenge our understanding of the natural world. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that tales of mythical sea creatures are nothing more than folklore and superstition, perpetuated by imaginative storytellers and embellished over time. They suggest that the Navy SEALs may have encountered a rare or previously unknown species of marine life, rather than a mythical creature straight out of legend. Regardless of one's beliefs, the story of the Navy SEALs' encounter with the Adaro continues to spark debate and speculation among enthusiasts of the unknown. For some, it is a tantalizing glimpse into a world of ancient mysteries and hidden truths waiting to be discovered. For others, it is simply another example of the power of human imagination to conjure fantastical tales from the depths of the unknown. For centuries, the indigenous peoples of the Solomon Islands have shared stories of sightings and interactions with mermaids. Known as Adaro in the local dialect, these merfolk are revered as guardians of the sea, possessing both the beauty of terrestrial creatures and the mystical powers of the ocean. According to ancient legends passed down through oral tradition, the Adaro are said to be beings of ethereal grace, with shimmering scales that glint in the sunlight and long, flowing hair that trails behind them like strands of liquid silver. The lore surrounding the Adaro is rich and varied, with stories recounting their benevolent deeds as protectors of marine life and harbingers of good fortune for those who honor the sanctity of the sea. Tales are told of fishermen who have been guided to bountiful fishing grounds by the gentle whispers of Adaro voices, and sailors who have been rescued from the brink of disaster by the timely intervention of these mysterious beings. Yet, alongside these tales of benevolence, there are also darker legends that speak of the Adaro's wrath and the perils of crossing their domain. According to local law, those who dare to disrespect the sanctity of the ocean or harm its inhabitants may incur the Adaro's vengeance, invoking curses and calamities upon themselves and their communities. In one chilling account, a group of fishermen who ventured too close to a sacred Adaro grotto were beset by a sudden and violent storm, their boat tossed about like a toy in the tempestuous waves. Miraculously, they survived the ordeal, but upon returning to shore, they found their village ravaged by floods and their crops decimated by plague, leading many to believe that they had incurred the wrath of the merfolk. Despite the skepticism of modern science, the tales of the Adaro endure as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the profound connection between humanity and the natural world. Whether viewed as purely folklore or as glimpses into a hidden realm beyond our comprehension, the stories of the Adaro continue to captivate the imagination and inspire wonder in all who hear them. In recent years, reports of sightings and encounters with the Adaro have continued to surface, fueling speculation and intrigue among locals and outsiders alike. Fishermen returning from their expeditions at sea have reported glimpses of shimmering figures darting beneath the waves, their graceful movements leaving trails of phosphorescent light in their wake. In one particularly compelling account, a group of divers exploring the coral reefs near Guadalcanal claimed to have encountered a pod of Adaro swimming gracefully among the vibrant marine life. According to their testimony, the merfolk appeared curious yet cautious, observing the divers from a distance before disappearing into the depths with a flick of their powerful tails. While skeptics may dismiss these accounts as mere fantasy or hallucination, many islanders remain steadfast in their belief in the existence of the Adaro, viewing them as integral to the rich tapestry of Solomon Islands' culture and heritage. Whether real or imagined, the mysteries of the Adaro continue to intrigue and inspire wonder, reminding us of the boundless depths of the ocean and the secrets that lie hidden beneath its shimmering surface. Mermaid sightings, though often dismissed as mere myth or fantasy by skeptics and scientists, persist across cultures and continents, weaving a tapestry of tales that hint at a deeper truth lurking beneath the surface of the seas. From the icy waters of the North Atlantic to the tropical reefs of the South Pacific, reports of encounters with mermaids continue to emerge, defying rational explanation and challenging our understanding of the natural world. One of the most compelling accounts of mermaid sightings comes from the coastal waters of the Faroe Islands, a remote archipelago nestled in the North Atlantic Ocean. Here, amidst the rugged cliffs and swirling mists, fishermen have reported sightings of mermaids known as selkies, believed to be shape-shifting creatures capable of transforming from seals into human form. According to local lore, selkies are said to emerge from the depths on moonlit nights, their haunting songs luring unsuspecting sailors to their watery graves. Tales are told of fishermen who have glimpsed these mysterious beings frolicking in the waves, their sleek forms gliding effortlessly through the frigid waters before vanishing into the depths once more. In the warm waters of the Caribbean, another legend of mermaid sightings holds sway, with reports of encounters dating back centuries. Known as sirenas in Spanish, these mermaids are said to inhabit the coral reefs and turquoise lagoons that dot the coastlines of the region, their enchanting songs drawing sailors and adventurers into their midst. In one famous account, recorded by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, sailors claimed to have encountered a group of sirenas off the coast of Cuba, their melodious voices beckoning the men to shore with promises of love and treasure. Yet, As the sailors drew closer, the sirenas vanished beneath the waves, leaving behind only echoes of their haunting song. While skeptics may attribute mermaid sightings to misidentification of marine animals or the tricks of the light, many who have encountered these elusive beings remain steadfast in their belief in their existence. Tales of mermaids have persisted across cultures and civilizations for millennia, suggesting a deep-seated human fascination with the mysteries of the sea. In recent years, advances in technology have only served to deepen the enigma surrounding mermaid sightings, with reports of encounters captured on camera and shared across social media. From grainy footage of shimmering figures seen darting beneath the waves to eyewitness accounts documented in blogs and forums, the evidence of mermaids' existence continues to mount, challenging skeptics and skeptics alike to reconsider their assumptions about the natural world. In the vast expanse of space, where the moon stands as a silent sentinel against the backdrop of the cosmos, lies a mystery that has captured the imagination of astronomers, believers in the unknown, and curious minds alike. It's a mystery that centers around a towering structure, a colossal edifice reaching an astonishing 3.5 miles into the lunar sky, as revealed in images captured by Google Moon. The discovery of this mysterious tower sparked a frenzy of speculation and debate within the scientific community and beyond. Proponents of the latter theory point to the tower's striking symmetry and unnaturally straight edges as evidence of artificial construction. They argue that such a feat of engineering would be beyond the capabilities of any known earthly civilization, prompting speculation about the involvement of otherworldly beings with technology far beyond our own. Others remain skeptical, citing the possibility of optical illusions or image artifacts distorting the true nature of the structure. They argue that without further exploration and analysis, it is premature to jump to conclusions about its origin or purpose. The photographs, sourced from Google Moon, depicted a towering edifice stretching an astonishing 3.5 miles into the lunar sky. Its imposing presence and striking symmetry immediately captured the attention of the online community, sparking widespread speculation and debate about its origin and purpose. For the individual who shared these remarkable images, the discovery was nothing short of a revelation, an opportunity to peer into the mysteries of our nearest celestial neighbor. With a few clicks of a mouse, they had unlocked a trove of hidden wonders, inviting others to join them on a journey of discovery across the lunar surface. As the images circulated across social media platforms, they ignited a firestorm of speculation among astronomers and armchair researchers alike. Some marveled at the sheer scale and precision of the structure, suggesting that it bore all the hallmarks of artificial construction, a testament to the ingenuity of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Others approached the discovery with skepticism, cautioning against jumping to conclusions without further analysis. They pointed to the possibility of optical illusions or image artifacts distorting the true nature of the structure, urging for a more measured approach to interpretation. Yet, amidst the debate and skepticism, one thing remained undeniable: the profound sense of wonder and awe inspired by the discovery. For the individual who shared the images, it was a moment of validation, a testament to the power of amateur exploration and the democratization of scientific inquiry in the digital age. In the days and weeks that followed, the photographs continued to captivate imaginations around the world, fueling speculation about the existence of other hidden wonders waiting to be uncovered on the moon and beyond. Whether the towering structure was a natural anomaly or a testament to extraterrestrial ingenuity, its discovery served as a poignant reminder of the boundless mysteries that await us in the depths of space. As humanity continues its journey of exploration and discovery, fueled by curiosity and propelled by technological innovation, the discovery of the 3.5-mile-high tower on the moon stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of discovery that unites us all. The recent discovery regarding the strange object on the moon's surface has garnered attention, with a researcher from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera mission asserting that the anomalous feature is simply a crater situated inside another crater. The team from NASA has conveyed that the visible element in the images is simply a crater, with no indications of the presence of a tower. Upon careful examination, they have not identified any evidence supporting the existence of a tower in the said location. NASA further elucidated that the current scenario involves the emergence of a diminutive crater situated on the periphery subsequent to the formation of a larger crater. This progression indicates a sequential development in the crater formations within the specified area. Oddly enough, many people who saw these images said that this isn't the first time that strange anomalies have been detected on the Moon. In the vast expanse of space, our celestial neighbour, the Moon, has long captured the imagination of humanity. As the closest celestial body to Earth, it has been the subject of countless scientific missions and exploratory endeavours, including the iconic Apollo missions of the 1960s and 1970s. However, among the thousands of photographs captured during these missions, a number of mysterious anomalies have emerged, hinting at the presence of strange structures and phenomena that defy conventional explanation. One of the most intriguing anomalies discovered in old Apollo photos is the presence of anomalous structures resembling artificial constructs on the lunar surface. These structures, often characterized by their geometric shapes and symmetrical patterns, stand out starkly against the barren lunar landscape, raising questions about their origin and purpose. One such anomaly is the presence of rectilinear features, including apparent walls, bridges, and platforms that appear to stretch across the lunar terrain. These features, which exhibit sharp angles and precise alignments, bear a striking resemblance to man-made infrastructure, leading some researchers to speculate about their artificial origin. In addition to geometric structures, Apollo photos have also captured anomalies such as anomalous lights and shadows that appear to defy the known laws of physics. These anomalies, which manifest as bright flashes of light or unusual shadow patterns, have puzzled scientists and researchers for decades, leading to speculation about their possible causes. Another intriguing anomaly discovered in Apollo photos is the presence of anomalous objects or artifacts scattered across the lunar surface. These objects, which range in size from small metallic-looking spheres to larger unidentified structures, have been the subject of much speculation and debate among researchers. One of the most famous examples of such anomalies is the so-called tower or spire. This towering structure, which appears to rise from the lunar surface like a massive obelisk, has defied conventional explanation, leading to speculation about its possible artificial origin. In addition to physical anomalies, Apollo photos have also captured mysterious phenomena such as anomalous lights and shadows that appear to move across the lunar surface. These phenomena, which have been likened to lunar transient phenomena, defy conventional explanation and have led to speculation about their possible extraterrestrial origin. Despite decades of study and analysis, the true nature of these mysterious anomalies remains shrouded in mystery. While some researchers have proposed natural explanations for these phenomena, such as geological processes or optical illusions, others believe that they may be evidence of ancient civilizations or even extraterrestrial activity on the Moon. The discovery of these mysterious anomalies in old Apollo photos has sparked renewed interest in the study of our nearest celestial neighbor. With advances in technology and imaging techniques, researchers continue to scrutinize these strange features in the hopes of unlocking the secrets of the Moon's ancient past. Throughout history, the Moon has captivated humanity's imagination, its silvery glow casting a spell over poets, scientists, and dreamers alike. Yet, beyond its serene facade, our celestial neighbor harbors a wealth of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. One of the most enduring mysteries of the Moon lies in the presence of anomalous structures and formations scattered across its rugged surface. In photographs captured by spacecraft and telescopes, researchers have identified strange geometric shapes, symmetrical patterns, and anomalous features that defy conventional explanation. These anomalies, ranging from towering spires to labyrinthine mazes, hint at the possibility of artificial constructs or ancient ruins hidden beneath the lunar dust. Among the most intriguing anomalies are the so-called lunar domes, mysterious structures resembling giant bubbles that dot the lunar landscape. These domes, which range in size from small mounds to massive formations spanning kilometers, have puzzled scientists for decades. While some researchers speculate that they may be the result of volcanic activity or impact cratering, others propose more exotic explanations, suggesting that they could be the remnants of ancient habitats or even alien bases. Beyond its mysterious surface, the Moon also harbors mysteries beneath its rocky exterior. Recent studies have revealed evidence of vast underground caverns and lava tubes that stretch for miles beneath the lunar surface. These subterranean realms, which remain largely unexplored, hold the potential to shed light on the Moon's tumultuous history and provide valuable insights into its geological evolution. The Book of Enoch, an ancient text attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, offers a fascinating glimpse into the mythology and cosmology of ancient Judeo-Christian tradition. Among its many accounts of celestial beings, angels, and apocalyptic visions, the Book of Enoch also contains references to mysterious creatures known as mermaids or sea monsters, which dwell in the depths of the oceans. According to the Book of Enoch, mermaids are described as hybrid beings with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, reminiscent of the merfolk of folklore and legend. These aquatic creatures are said to inhabit the vast expanses of the oceans, where they dwell in hidden underwater realms and interact with other sea creatures. One of the most notable passages in the Book of Enoch that references mermaids is found in the Book of Watchers, which describes the descent of fallen angels to earth and their interactions with humanity. In this section, the fallen angels, also known as the Watchers, are said to have taught forbidden knowledge to humankind, including the art of cosmetics and adornment. Among the practices attributed to the Watchers is the breeding of hybrid beings, including mermaids, through their illicit union with human women. The Book of Enoch paints a vivid picture of the mermaids' role in the cosmic order, portraying them as mysterious and otherworldly creatures that inhabit the hidden depths of the oceans. These beings are depicted as possessing both human-like intelligence and aquatic prowess, capable of navigating the underwater realms with grace and agility. In addition to their physical attributes, mermaids in the Book of Enoch are also associated with themes of temptation, seduction, and spiritual corruption. According to the text, the presence of mermaids among human communities is seen as a sign of moral decay and spiritual decline, reflecting the influence of the fallen angels and their corrupting influence on humanity. Despite their mysterious and often ominous portrayal in the Book of Enoch, mermaids also serve as symbols of the vast and mysterious depths of the natural world. Their existence underscores the ancient belief in the interconnectedness of all living beings and the rich diversity of life forms that inhabit the Earth's oceans. Furthermore, the inclusion of mermaids in the Book of Enoch reflects the broader cultural fascination with these mythical creatures throughout history. Stories of mermaids have been passed down through oral tradition and folklore for centuries, captivating the imagination of people around the world and inspiring countless works of art, literature, and popular culture. One such text, now known as the Lost Book of the Bible, is that of the ancient religious scripture known as the Book of Enoch. Originally rejected for speaking of other powerful beings, known as the Watchers, the Book of Enoch and the story of Enoch is referenced several times throughout a number of different books in the Bible, such as Genesis, Hebrews, Jude, and many others. So what were the Watchers, and why did this lead to the rejection of the story from the canonical texts? According to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers were fallen angels that began teaching humans advanced technologies and magic. It is through these Watchers that Enoch experienced his visions that featured technologies comparable to the modern-day understanding of spacecraft. In fact, the Book of Enoch opens its texts with a direct explanation to the future, claiming that people in the time of Enoch will not be able to understand his visions of technology, and that it will only be understood by humans in the distant future, most likely referring to humans in the modern day with comparable technologies. The text says the following: "There was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Lord, and he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed to me. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw, but not for this generation, but for a distant generation that will come." End quote. Shortly after this statement, Enoch talks about his journey ascending into the sky and seeing the heavens firsthand. His account is written as follows: "Behold, clouds called me in the vision, and mist called me, and the path of the stars, and flashes of lightning hastened me and drove me. And in the vision winds caused me to fly, and hastened me, and lifted me up into the sky. And I proceeded until I came near a wall which was made of hailstones, and a tongue of fire surrounded it, and it began to make me afraid." End quote. Could this passage found in the Book of Enoch be evidence of advanced alien craft witnessed by early man? Interestingly, Enoch describes that he ascended into a cloud that was hovering above him. This occurred after he saw flashes of lightning, an obvious reference to electricity, and then suddenly was lifted up into the sky by winds that began to surround him, which directly matches modern-day stories of individuals being lifted into the sky in a beam of light, which is attached to an unidentified flying object. When he entered the cloud, Enoch described tongues of fire, which seem eerily similar to the red and orange lights commonly seen on modern-day sightings of extraterrestrial craft. Shortly after being taken, Enoch talks about how the Watchers wished to teach him about the stars, and that the cloud they resided in began venturing out into deep space as Enoch recorded what he saw, trying to make sense of what he was witnessing. Enoch also gives accurate descriptions of what the stars look like when seen up close in space by describing his journey in the following statement. "And beyond this chasm, I saw a place, and it had neither the sky above it nor the foundation of earth below it. There was no water on it, and no birds, but it was a desert place. And a terrible thing I saw there, 7 stars, like great burning mountains." End quote. If you were a primitive human being with no way to compare the deep, endless darkness of space, would this fit an accurate description of what you witnessed? Interestingly, Enoch describes the stars as being much larger in person, something not traditionally known at the time, with ancient man believing that stars were nothing more than tiny lights that lit up the night sky. However, Enoch directly compares the stars to great burning mountains. If this experience fails to provide substantial proof as to Enoch traveling through the stars with the almost godlike Watchers, Enoch continues to explain what sounds almost like a black hole swallowing a dying star. In the scripture, the Book of Enoch describes, "And from there I went to another place, more terrible than this. And I saw a terrible thing. There was a great fire there, which burnt and blazed, and the place had a cleft reaching into the abyss, full of great pillars of fire, which were made to fall. Neither its extent nor its size could I see, nor could I see its source." End quote. Although most people can hardly imagine what a black hole would look like in person, a star falling into an abyss that had no bottom and of size that could not be seen with no source is one of the most accurate descriptions someone could give for a singularity. The description of a cleft reaching into the abyss is commonly how stars are swallowed, in large arcing orbits with long pillars of fire reaching in. When Enoch then began to show that he was terrified of the abyss, the Watchers explained that he should not be scared, and then went on to elaborate that the black hole was nothing more than a prison for angels. The Book of Enoch is one of the most mysterious texts to emerge from ancient literature. Comprising several works attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, this collection of writings offers a unique glimpse into the cosmology, theology, and esoteric wisdom of the ancient world. From its controversial authorship to its profound influence on later religious and mystical traditions, the mysteries of Enoch continue to fascinate scholars and seekers alike. Enoch, the protagonist of the Book of Genesis, is depicted as a righteous man who walked with God and was taken up to heaven. However, it is the apocryphal Book of Enoch that provides the most detailed and elaborate account of his mystical journey and encounters with celestial beings. This ancient text, composed primarily in Aramaic and Ethiopic, consists of several distinct works, including the Book of the Watchers, the Book of Parables, the Book of Astronomy, and the Book of Dreams. One of the most striking aspects of the Book of Enoch is its vivid depiction of the heavenly realms and the hierarchy of angels and archangels that populate them. According to Enochic literature, the cosmos is divided into multiple layers, with the earth situated at the center and the heavens above, each inhabited by different orders of celestial beings. These angelic beings, known as Watchers, serve as intermediaries between God and humanity, tasked with overseeing the affairs of the world and guiding human destiny. The Book of Enoch also delves into esoteric topics such as astronomy, astrology, and cosmology, presenting a complex and intricate vision of the universe. Enoch is portrayed as receiving divine revelations about the movements of the stars, the cycles of the seasons, and the mysteries of creation, offering profound insights into the nature of reality and the divine plan. Furthermore, the Book of Enoch contains prophetic visions and apocalyptic imagery that foretell the coming of a final judgment and the establishment of a new age of righteousness. These apocalyptic themes resonate with similar motifs found in other ancient religious texts, such as the Book of Revelation in the New Testament and the prophetic literature of Judaism and Christianity. Despite its profound influence on later religious traditions, the Book of Enoch was excluded from the canonical scriptures of Judaism and Christianity, deemed apocryphal and heretical by religious authorities. However, fragments of the text were preserved among the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in the caves of Qumran in the mid-20th century, sparking renewed interest and scholarly investigation into its origins and significance. So, what do you make of the Book of Enoch? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.